The Mental Sphere, Its Worlds and Inhabitants by Annie Besant, read by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The Mental Sphere, Its Worlds and Inhabitants. The mental sphere connected with our Earth contains two globes with which we are not now concerned. It contains also two worlds, the higher and lower, each with its inhabitants, and a part of the lower is placed under special conditions for the use of discarnate human beings. This is the heaven world. The whole sphere belongs to the state of consciousness denominated thought or mental activity, and its matter answers to the changes in consciousness that are caused by thinking. Its 7 subdivisions, though so much finer, again correspond to those of the physical and astral worlds. And the mental world is, like the physical, divided into two, a lower and an upper, the former consisting of 4 denser subdivisions and the latter of 3 subtler. 2 bodies belong to it, the mental, composed of combinations of the denser, and the causal, composed of those of the finer. This world is of peculiar interest, not only because man spends here nearly all his time, after the mind is fairly developed, only dipping down into the physical world for brief snatches of mortal life as a bird dives into the sea after fish, but because it is the meeting place of the higher and lower consciousnesses. The immortal individuality, descending from above after the monad has formed the spirit by sending out his ray, waits in high heaven, while the lower bodies are being formed round atoms attached to him, brooding over them through long ages of slow evolution. When they are sufficiently evolved, he flashes down and takes possession of them to use them for his own evolution. The habitat of the spirit as intellect of him, whose nature is knowledge, is the causal world, the 3 higher levels of the mental sphere. These give him his body, the causal, the body which remains, ever evolving throughout his long series of incarnations in denser matter. This world and body are so named because all the causes, the effects of which are seen in the lower worlds, reside in them. The causal body begins with the above named flashing down as a mere film of matter, egg-shaped like a shell round the lower bodies, formed within it as the chick in the egg. The delicate network radiates from the permanent atom of the causal body to all parts of this egg-like film, the atom glowing like a brilliant nucleus. With it are associated the permanent atoms of the physical and astral bodies and the permanent molecule unit of the mental. During life, it encloses the whole bodies, and at the death of each it preserves this permanent germ of each, with all the vibratory powers enshrined within it, the seed of life for each successive body. For ages it is little more than this subtle network and surface, for it can only grow by the higher human activities, by such as arouse in its subtle matter a faint vibratory response. As the personality grows more thoughtful, more unselfish, more engaged in right activities, its harvest for its owner grows richer and richer. The personalities are like the leaves put forth by a tree. They draw in material from outside, transform it into useful substances, send it down the tree as crude sap, drop off and wither. The sap is changed into tree food and nourishes the tree, which sends out new leaves to repeat the same cycle. The consciousness in the mental, astral and physical bodies gathers experience, casting off the physical and astral bodies as dead leaves. It transmutes these experiences into qualities in the mental body during its heavenly life. It is then drawn into the causal body with its harvest, casting away the mental body like the others, and is blended with the spirit who puts it forth, enriching him with its harvest. It has served the spirit as a hand put forth to take food. The enriched spirit, the man, forms round the old permanent atoms another mental and astral body, capable of manifesting his enhanced qualities. The physical permanent atom is planted through the father in the body of the mother, who is to provide the physical body required by the changeless law of cause and effect. And these three lower bodies are nourished and coloured by her corresponding bodies. The new personality is thus launched into the mortal world. While intellect has as its vehicle the causal body, its copy in denser matter, the mind, has the mental body as its instrument. The one has abstract thinking as its activity, the other concrete. The mind acquires knowledge by utilising the sense for observations, its precepts, and by working on these and building them into concepts. Its powers are attention, memory, reasoning by induction and deduction, imagination, and the like. The intellect knows by the assonance of the outside world with its own nature, and its power is creation, the arrangement of matter into bodies for its own natural products, ideas. When it sends a flash into the lower mind, illuminating its concepts and inspiring its imagination, we call the flash genius. Both the causal and mental bodies expand enormously in the later stages of evolution and manifest the most gorgeous radiance of many-coloured lights, glowing with intense splendour when comparatively at rest and sending forth the most dazzling coruscations when in high activity. Both interpenetrate the lower bodies and extend beyond their surface, as with the etheric double and the astral body. The parts of all these bodies of finer matter, which are outside the dense physical body, form collectively the aura of the human being, the luminous coloured cloud surrounding his dense body. The etheric portion of the aura can be seen by Dr. Kilner's apparatus. An ordinary clairvoyant usually sees this and the astral portion. A clairvoyant more highly developed sees the etheric, astral and mental portions. Few are able to see the portion consisting of the causal body, and fewer still the rare beauty of the intuitional and the dazzling light of the spiritual vehicles. The clarity and delicacy, the brilliance of the auric colours, or their opacity, coarseness and dullness, show the general stage of advancement of the owner. Changes of emotion suffuse the astral portion with transitory colours, as with the rose of love, the blue of devotion, the grey of fear, the brown of brutality, and sickly green of jealousy. The pure yellow of intelligence, the orange of pride, the brilliant green of mental sympathy and alertness are equally familiar. Striations, bands, streaks, flashes, etc. give a multiplicity of forms for study, all expressive of certain qualities in the mental and moral character. The child's aura, again, differs much from that of the adult. The mind, working in the mental body, produces results, thoughts, in the astral and physical bodies. In the latter, by using as its instrument the cerebrospinal system. In its own world it sends out definite thought forms, thoughts embodied in mental matter, which go forth into the mental world and may incorporate themselves in other mental bodies. Its own vibrations also send out undulations in all directions that cause similar vibrations in others. Comparatively few people at the present stage of evolution can function freely in the mental world, clothed only in the higher and mental bodies, separated from the physical and astral. But those who can do so can tell about its phenomena, an important matter, since heaven, known in Theosophy as Devachan, is part of the mental world, guarded from all unpleasant intrusions. The inhabitants of the world are the higher ranks of the nature spirits, called in the East Devas, or in the West angels. They are glowing forms with changing shades of exquisite colours, whose language is colour, whose motion is melody.